From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Daniels Roofing, licensed, bonded, insured roofing contractor. 45 years of generational expertise, offering a variety of roofing systems in the North State. Composition shingles, metal, tile, fire-safe wood shingles, and spray foam roofing systems. An energy-saving cool roof, perfect for commercial flat roofs and mobile homes. With other companies, you may get a foreman or a salesman. But with Daniels Roofing, you get Daniel. Call today for your free estimate. Daniels Roofing, 3 generations working hard to protect your home and business.
Happy Wednesday morning to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger, Weather NorCal here. We're going to start off with those cold mornings with areas of frost. Now, it depends on what the winds are doing. When the winds are blowing in certain areas, you'll see less in the way of frost and just cool temperatures. But then for areas that are sheltered by the winds, you've got that frost here. And that'll be the next several mornings here. Highs today near 70 degrees in parts of the valley, if not some of you touching. Getting around 70, maybe 71 degrees. It's getting warmer for the next few days for those daytime highs. But again, still cold to start off the day. We can talk about those gusty winds. They're going to be off and on here. They were pretty weak yesterday. They're picking back up again here for today and possibly even lingering into at least the first half of Thursday. And that chance for rain and snow I've been talking about even since last week, I tell you what, it is not looking all that promising. Still a slight chance, especially in the eastern mountains, Lassen, Plumas County in particular. But everywhere else, most likely dry, but again, significantly cooler. We'll get into all of that in the deeper dive, but before we do that, let's take a look at Krueger's Quickcast. Just a quick look at your forecast here for your Wednesday, January 22nd. Out the door this morning, be ready for some cold temperatures, although not as bad, especially for the north end of the valley where those winds are blowing a little bit more this morning. That's keeping those temperatures up. Teens and 20s for the higher elevations, but even for the north coast, you're looking at temperatures in the 30s. Wobbling area of low pressure right here will eventually get caught up in the flow, move to the south of us, and pretty much just dissipate. But the main thing we're really tracking is this arc in the clouds. That's the ridge of high pressure. That's responsible and will be responsible for the warmer temperatures we'll see today. But look at this. As we go into the afternoon, we do have those winds picking up a bit here for the valley and, of course, the foothills east of the valley. This is not a major wind event, but what it is just the winds kind of picking up, a bit of a nuisance wind, if you will. But look at everywhere else. The winds are not that strong. So again, it's mainly just confined for parts of the valley and the foothills east of the valley. And as we go into tomorrow morning, those winds still a little breezy, but we'll be on that downward trend with the winds through the day on Thursday. All right, so here's what it looks like for your Wednesday. Sunny skies. I've got upper 60s, but again, some of us could touch that 70, 71 degree mark here for parts of the valley, especially up to the north. The temperatures in the 50s, 40s and 50s for the higher elevations, although out towards Trinity County around 60, low 60s inland, and looks like in those mid to upper 50s for your daytime highs for the coast. Looking at sunny skies there as well. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at that 7-day outlook, and we're going to start off with the valley where it is going to be colder as we go into the weekend. There you can see, looking at your 7-day outlook, there it is, closer to 70 degrees here Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, you're down to 64, and then those upper 50s. So it's not a major drop, but I mean, we're going from around 70 to upper 50s by the time we get into Saturday, Sunday. So, you know, that's a significant drop in the temperatures, but then we're back up in the low 60s by Monday and Tuesday. All right, here's a look at the coast, inland, and for Trinity County. There's those cooler temperatures. Trinity County down to the mid to upper 40s, but back up in the 50s by Monday and Tuesday. And for Siskiyou, Modoc, and the eastern mountains, look at this. We've got that chance for snow, as I mentioned. Now, I think the best chances will be Lassen and Plumas counties. Otherwise, I think the rest of us are going to be dry. And even that, if we see anything, it's going to be very light. And again, the key word is if we even see anything. But look at the temperatures on Saturday, mid to upper 30s here, upper 30s, low 40s by Sunday, but then also warming back up as we go into early next week. All right, that's a look at Krueger's Quickcast. That's your forecast through the day, and of course a quick look at that 7-day as well. But we're going to go into the deeper dive forecast here in just a bit. But I want to remind you that there is a free 24-hour streaming channel. Now, it's available in many different locations. If you have Roku or Fire Stick, that's easy, right? Just download the app from the App Store there. It's free. Just search for Weather NorCal. Also, if you have a smart TV but not Roku, Fire Stick, you can still use the YouTube app on any device. If it's Apple TV, if it's your smart TV in general, if you have YouTube available on your smart TV, then you can watch the 24-hour streaming channel. And here's the other cool part about the YouTube app on those smart TVs. You can also, on demand, watch my latest forecast. So the forecast you're watching right now, you can watch on your TV, and it'll be the latest forecast. So be sure to check that out. So just wanted to kind of give you a quick heads up that that's really kind of a cool resource. You can also access it from the free Weather NorCal app and from weathernorcal.com. All right, let's take it to Southern California real quickly. We're still seeing those percentages go up when we're talking about the containment of the fires here, but we're still looking at high fire danger over the next couple of days. A red flag warning is going to be through Thursday night until 8 p.m. We have high wind warnings, a high wind watch, wind advisories along for the same areas here, also pretty much through Thursday. So let's take a look at the winds, what they're doing. And yeah, I mean, we've got some strong winds, your typical Santa Ana winds here. That's today. Let's take you into your Thursday. Winds still very strong with those Santa Ana winds. And check this out, as you start heading down towards the San Diego region as well, you're looking at some very strong winds, 40, 50, 60 miles an hour. But the good news is we start to see those winds subside here as we take you into Friday. So we've got that to look forward to. Now again, looking at the fire weather risk here, you can see here we're seeing yellows and oranges. That is in the high category here. And really, we haven't seen the orange colors in here for a while, so that's just really indicating how strong these winds are going to be and just how dry it's going to be as well. And then going into Friday, you can see not as high with that fire danger because, again, those winds are starting to die down. All right, let's take you closer to home. In fact, let's take you to home. Right in Northern California, there are those winds I was talking about here for today. Now, tomorrow, still a bit breezy in the morning, but here you can see around midday, still a tad breezy, 10 to 15 miles per hour, but then dropping below that as we go into Thursday afternoon. Let's take you into Friday, and yeah, a little breezy, 10 to 15 miles per hour, but certainly not what we're seeing here today. And of course, looks like the winds may be picking up along the coast. All right, so here's what we've got. We've got this area of low pressure wobbling off to our west. This is eventually just going to kind of move itself down to our south, fizzle out really. But this arc in the clouds is the ridge of high pressure. That's going to give us the warmer temperatures. And you can see that right here. See that ridge of high pressure? That's what's going to give us those warmer temperatures for today and even tomorrow. But eventually that's going to start to break apart. And we've got some cold Arctic influenced air. Okay, so this colder air, what's going to happen is the main core of cold air is still going to stay to our north and east, but this will eventually kind of break off and spill over into Northern California. Now, I think the coldest temperatures will basically be in north and east of the valley. This is where we're expecting to see some of those coldest temperatures. Now, the track of this storm is making things tricky when we talk about the potential for snow. But it's not just the track that we've got to watch, it's the amount of moisture, and there's just not a lot, which we'll get into that here in a second. That colder air then continues to dive down to the south and then push off to the east, and then we start to see some warmer air try to move in. But looks like still some kind of cooler air wrapping around that area of low pressure, keeping that warmer air from really moving in. So yes, it warms up a little bit here for Monday, Tuesday of next week as the main pocket of colder air shifts off to our east. All right, so you take a look at the temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, and we're still in that cooler than normal category. All right, so once again, we've got that ridge of high pressure that we're watching here. There's that cold Arctic air. But look at this snow that's embedded within this trough of low pressure, kind of a storm, if you will. There's not a lot of moisture for this to work with. This is an Arctic blast of cold and dry air for the most part, so anything we can squeeze out of the atmosphere, it's not going to be a lot. So here we are on Saturday morning. You can see a little bit of snow trying to develop here in parts of Lassen and Plumas counties. But then as we go through the afternoon, you can see that's just all going to dive down to the south. And look at this. By Sunday, we actually may see some rain and even some snow down into Southern California. Again, it's not going to be very heavy, but it's going to be certainly some nice relief with the cooler temperatures. But the problem is, this is an area of low pressure. We've got a high pressure here. The difference between the two is unfortunately going to bump up those winds once that colder air moves down to the south and east and the rain and snow moves off to the east. So winds for us in Northern California and really even making its way down into Southern California as well as we go into early next week. But drier than normal conditions here for central and northern California, closer to normal conditions. But again, that's that chance for rain and snow you saw, but even that is not going to be all that significant. Once again, we just take another quick look at those lake levels. These percentages, some of them are, dropping a little bit here and there. There you can see here a drop here for Shasta Lake, but for Trinity and Oroville Lake, and there you can see Lake Oroville, that is here. There you can see there's been a slight increase, but for the most part, it's a trickle, right? But still, 121 to 128% of average for the season. Ski report, yeah, they're still making snow up on the ski resorts, even out in Mount Shasta Ski Park here with 57 inches out at the summit. But, the ski parks are all open. It just depends if you like the man-made snow or not. And you know what? It's perfectly fine. I was just talking to a friend of mine who was out there a couple of days ago, and she had a great time. So yeah, get out there. And while it's still out there too, right? Because we don't have much rain or snow in the forecast. And even though they're making it, sometimes it's kind of hard to catch up. But there you can see as we go into 5 p.m. today, we're looking at some pretty good wave heights. They may increase a little bit as we go into Thursday, but shouldn't be that much of a concern. Looking at your marine forecast for your Wednesday, north winds at 5 to 10 knots. Your waves, as you can see here, your high, your low tide, and there are no advisories in the forecast. So here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures around 60, give or take, pretty much anywhere you go here. No rain, no snow in the forecast for the next 7 days. 61 for Blue Lake today, 63 for Garberville, and 63 degrees for Alder Point. 62 in Orleans, 63 for Smith River, and 63 for Gas Key. Here's a look at your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, 49 degrees in Gazelle, 53 in Mount Shasta City, and McLeod, a high of 55 degrees. No rain, no snow there for the next 7 days. That's also the case for Modoc County. Of course, for today, we're looking at 45 in Tule Lake, 50 in Alturas, and 43 degrees in Cedarville. Eastern Mountains, look at this. Susanville, yeah, Lassen County, Plumas County, all looking at that chance for some light snow. If we even see anything. Otherwise, we're dry on either side of that. And of course, today, temperatures 40s, 50s, even some 60s in the forecast. Here's your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by Walgamith Painting. Your temperatures will be in the upper 60s pretty much any way you look at it. Some of us could touch that 70-degree mark here for today, including places like Anderson, maybe even Redding or Cottonwood and Palisadro. 69 for Red Bluff, 66 in Lakehead and Whiskeytown. Let's take a look at your 7-day outlook for Redding. Still warm even on Thursday, and then temperatures start to drop after that. Upper 50s as that colder air moves in over the weekend. Back up in the low 60s by Monday and Tuesday of next week. That is your morning update. I'll be back again this afternoon. Have a great morning.
Barr & Mudford is a top established firm here in the North State. Founded over a half-century ago, Barr & Mudford is protecting the rights of our neighbors and community. We take our commitment to our clients very seriously and provide a level of excellence unrivaled in the North State. Barr & Mudford, standing up for the rights of our neighbors and our beautiful community, serving Northern California with excellence.